walls of the Corning office could talk, if the walls of this Big Flats office could talk, what do you think they'd say? Okay, so tell us who you are. What do you do?
Well, my name is Jason Nickerson, currently in the position of Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. I guess appropriate to say that I'm also President Elect, which is to be voted on in March in our shareholder meeting. What I do, one of the great things about the firm is that we have, sort of this player coach mentality. So I was raised as an advisor here over many years, but have been given the opportunities to take on leadership roles across the company in a lot of different areas. So right now, overseeing the general operations area, advisors, relationship development, marketing functions, branch offices, and just kind of overall, strategic planning and strategic plan implementation for the company in partnership with our executive management team, John Ullman and Darren Wilcox.
If you'd have told Jason that started 24 years ago that you'd be president-elect at this firm, do you think that was even in the realm of possibility at that point?
Not even in the slightest. It's interesting how I kind of came into this business. I stumbled into it. I was an accounting major and quickly found out for myself, and being guided by an accounting professor and my college advisor, that maybe the accounting world was not right for me, or I wasn't right for it. And not sure really what I was looking for, but had a lot of interest in the world of finance, and more so the money aspects of finance, and not in terms of the materialistic pieces of it, but really the functionality, the behavioral impact that it has, and so on. And almost stumbled into this sort of a moment that said, wow, this is the right fit. I want to help people, but I wasn't a blood and guts type of person where I could be a doctor, but could help people with money and decisions around money. And then finding a firm like this was, I call it a sort of a stroke of luck, or maybe something that was in the universe, that was in Corning, New York, which was important for a lot of reasons. And finding a small but fast-growing company, and the opportunity to be taught by a lot of great people, and the willingness to just work really, really hard. One of the things that going back to, what would I tell myself is do that again, right? Like find that work ethic and just go at it. And then, what are the things that lead to enhanced roles, but, continuing to learn, finding the things that you become passionate about, and, the aspects of leadership, and having the opportunity to lead the company sort of in its next evolution, or this next stage of what it could become, is almost surreal, right? I'd never expected to have that as an opportunity, but just knew I believed a lot in what the company was, and its foundations and its strategic priorities. And sort of made it known that, if there was an opportunity to arise, I wanted to be in the conversation, and not for the sake of having, management responsibilities or being someone's boss, but ushering in, sort of this, what the company is, and the strength of the team we have, and caring for that, and wanting to see that continue well on into the future was very, very important to me.
So looking back on the last 24 years, and obviously starting to talk about Corning, and now here in Big Flats, and also our location up in Rhinebeck, if you can think back on those last 24 years, when was a moment that it kind of clicked that you had something special here?
I will tell you, it was almost from day one of my first interview. When back then, the internet existed, but not in today's world. So the information I was able to gather was extremely limited. Um, the the interview that I think both answered the question for me and even for the people I was being interviewed by took place the night before my wedding. Uh, it was a Friday night, I remember, and my wife and I were actually home from school. We were getting married the weekend before Thanksgiving. And I was interviewing with Karen Merriweather, who's currently Senior Vice President, and Jerry Horton, who at the time was our controller. And it was more informational. We knew that my wife and I, we wanted to move back here. Her family's from here. We wanted to raise a family here. I went to Corning Community College, just a great area to be in. And I remember at one point in the interview, it had been going on for a couple of hours. Karen Merriweather asked, "Well, why are you in town?" And I said, "Well, my wife, we're getting married tomorrow." And she said, "Aren't you late for something?" And I said, "Yeah, maybe a rehearsal dinner, but I don't have to practice eating dinner." So it was okay. And I think it was in that moment that I wasn't worried about where I was supposed to be, which was, somewhat important. And the fact that we were able to spend so much time together and I was learning about the company, and it just was the model that I didn't know existed, but wanted to be a part of. And this was coming off of other interviews with companies that were hungry for young people to be salespeople, really, right? And this company really showed a level of caring, not obviously, for me, for the team, but more importantly for the clients. It was sort of in that conversation that I felt I just had, this was it. This was the thing I wanted to be a part of. And I remember, the days and weeks following graduating college that December, and I did everything in my power I could to follow up with Karen and Jerry Horton. I'm very interested in joining the company and making phone calls and sending letters and so on, because just from that conversation, I knew this place was something special.
I know we've talked about before your relationship with Tom and Karen and how they've been mentors to you this whole time. What has that relationship been like, and seeing it grow over the years, and being able to kind of help build this and the team of advisors that you have now, and the kind of model that they laid out in the beginning, and the reputation that they have here is impeccable. What's that relationship been like for you, and kind of learning from them?
It honestly, I guess I could paraphrase and say they've been my career parents. They've taken great care of me, not just professionally, but personally. They've been mentors in many aspects, and they're both very caring people. There's business leaders that are focused on the success of the business, and then there are business leaders that are focused on success of the people, and they know that focus turns into success for the business. And I would say Tom, Karen, and even John, and everybody that I've run in, that I've had the ability to learn from here has sort of had that similar personality to them. And I think that's what makes the company so great is there's this shared sort of approach, and it's very cohesive and it's very caring for our clients and for the team here. And what Tom and Karen and John have really developed, and I get humbled by every day, is this wonderful team of incredibly intelligent and skilled people. And I tell people my job is just not to screw it up, right? Is when something is this successful, is to make sure that you continue down that path. So my relationship today with them remains very strong. I lean on them to continue to be my mentors. I told them that as maybe as much as they're trying to retire, they can't retire from being my mentors. And yeah, they've laid a groundwork of being very caring people for not just the clients but the people here in the company, and to see a lot of success in all of those areas.
So JGUA 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if you can look back at that point, um, if there's one thing that's been accomplished, or one, you know, feel around this firm that you can look back and say, we did it right? What would that be in your mind?
Well, I feel like my role maybe for the next iteration of this company is to expand the word that or the services or the culture that we have well beyond just this local geography. I've said it several times that what we bring to the table for clients in terms of a relationship. I have, not many people can find it outside of here, and we've been very fortunate to have a very supportive local geography to us, but even still not well known in our own, sort of general location. So the next 5 years, I think we can expand, and there are so many more people out there that can benefit from a relationship with a company like ours. And we hold true to our ethics and values and what we bring to relationships with our clients. If we maintain who we are, and that's who I would want us to be going forward. I don't want us to be changing. Um, I see that we can expand our reach much further, not for the sake of expansion, but for the sake of the fact that people deserve to have a relationship with a firm like ours to care and guide them in their personal financial journey. I opine a lot that the personal financial situation of families is second most important in their lives, second only to mental and physical health, and we have to take that very seriously. So that's who we are, and I think there's many more people that can benefit from a relationship with us. So I see us expanding geographically to expand that reach and get the word out. And honestly, the industry in general has kind of headed in this sort of direction, the fiduciary direction, we'll call it. And we've been doing this for 45 years now. And so I think we can be a part of that change. I think we can further that momentum behind what a fiduciary advisor really is, and change the financial services industry for the future.
All right, last question. This is the way every episode's going to end. If the walls of the Corning office could talk, if the walls of this Big Flats office could talk, what do you think they'd say?
I think they would say what a caring, hardworking, skilled group of people that show up here every day. And again, like I've said, I'm humbled by the team I get to work with. I don't deserve this, right? I mean, this is something you earn every day, being able to work with people that we work with. And I think, those walls would speak volumes about the quality of the people that we've had and how much they care for the client relationships, and wanting to do the right things and anything and everything we can do, for those relationships. We're not bound by a set of processes that says we can only talk to clients in these certain areas. It's whatever we can do to help. Maybe we're just an ear or a shoulder to cry on sometimes, but other times, we're dealing with very difficult money situations, and it's done very confidentially, professionally, and that's very important. And yeah, I think that's what they'd say.
Great. Thanks, Jason.
Yeah.